Let's go.
Hi, my name is Jess Halliday. I'm Chief Executive of RUAF. So my brief today is to talk to you about international policy support for urban agriculture. So urban agriculture is practiced in cities and towns all around the world, but there is a real patchwork of policy support at local and at national levels. So consequently, in some places, urban agriculture is embedded into landscape and the character of a city and is actively promoted. In other places, it's seen as a hobby for home gardeners or the preserve of community groups. Land use pressures, as well as public health and sanitation fears, can lead to a perception that food growing has no place in the city. So in this video, we're going to look at some of the factors that can underlie policy support or lack of support for urban agriculture in various different contexts around the world. We will look at how urban agriculture is framed in terms of its multiple benefits, how the institutional structures and the distribution of powers and competencies within a country can enable or promote urban agriculture, and how unexpected policy areas can lend support to urban agriculture. So first, the extent and the type of policy support can depend on how urban agriculture is framed in a given context. That is, which of the many benefits are considered the most important for the community. In Latin America, urban agriculture is acknowledged for its contribution to food security. Some of the best known and the longest running municipal urban agriculture programs, like the program in Rosario, Argentina, and the program in Quito, Ecuador, that provide land and technical support, they have their origins in the economic crisis of the early 2000s, when a large portion of the population became at risk of food insecurity overnight. In Brazil, the food security framing has led to a new law in 2023 that institutionalizes urban and peri-urban agriculture, supporting existing local laws and giving both urban and rural farmers equal access to financial support from the national level. In the United Kingdom, on the other hand, urban agriculture tends to be framed in softer terms, such as community cohesion and mental health benefits. There are pockets of policy support at the local level. A planning advisory note in Brighton Hove, for example, recommends the integration of urban agriculture spaces into new developments. And in a few places, it can be prescribed by medical doctors for its health benefits. But urban agriculture is not recognised in national level policy, and its main advocates tend to be community groups and academics. Secondly, policy support for urban agriculture can depend heavily on institutional structures, mandates, and competencies that are assigned to different levels of government. In Nairobi, Kenya, urban agriculture was illegal for many years, and plots in slums and on marginal land were often destroyed by law enforcement. After the 2010 constitution devolved urban agriculture to the subnational, that's the city-county level, the Urban Areas and Cities Act of 2011 required that county governments establish plans for urban agriculture, and the National Agriculture Sector Extension Policy sets out requirements for provision of extension services across Kenya. The result of this institutional reorganisation and new mandate has been the Nairobi City County Urban Agriculture Promotion and Regulation Act of 2015, which calls for the provision of land and water for urban agriculture, especially in informal settlements, and enables public and open spaces to be used for food production. Thirdly, land use is a major challenge in cities everywhere, so recognition of urban agriculture as a valid land use in the planning system can be critical. But supporting urban agriculture is not just about finding spaces, it's also about making them available, which can require drawing on different policy domains to create incentives. For example, in Dhaka North in Bangladesh, the city corporation has drawn on fiscal policy to enable property owners who allow rooftop gardening on their buildings to benefit from a 10% property tax rebate. In Antananarivo in Madagascar, education provided support for its program to promote sack gardening in the schools, with vegetables grown in large sacks on the school premises being used to supplement the carbohydrate-heavy school meals provided by the World Food Programme and the National Ministry of Education. In La Paz, Bolivia, the Municipal Secretariat of Environment led on a law enabling citizens to use public land to grow food on a temporary basis, as long as they adhere to environmental stewardship criteria in the interests of promoting biodiversity. So some final takeaway messages. Framing of urban agriculture is all important, and we need to make better use of its multifunctional benefits in our advocacy efforts. Joined up thinking is also crucial. Support for urban agriculture can come from unexpected policy quarters, from economic and fiscal departments, from environmental teams, from the health sector, from education departments, and so on. So by building relationships and showing how urban agriculture can contribute to multiple agendas, we can garner more support. Sometimes urban agriculture is constrained by factors outside of our control. This can mean biding our time, doing what we can, while waiting for an opportunity to develop the supportive policy frameworks in due course. Thank you very much.